Hey there, and welcome back to Nature to Nurture, simply caring for our children. My name's Tiffany. I am your host, and I am excited to jump on here today. This is a little bonus episode that is different than my other episodes. This is more of a reflection about something that I recently experienced and that has really been sticking with me. I shared with you all recently that I was able to attend the NMAEYC conference. That's a New Mexico early childhood conference for educators and early childhood professionals. Anywho, I sat in this session about creating trauma-responsive spaces. And it wasn't one of those sessions where I was just writing down notes or collecting ideas. It was one of those moments where I was really feeling what the presenter was sharing, what the room was experiencing, and it was just it was landing with us in our bodies. I have been thinking about this session ever since, and what I really took was a big question that came up in that space. It's been sitting with me, and I relate it to a couple of things that I've been doing. Number one, I don't know if you guys have read the beautiful book by Oprah called What Happened to You. She also has a co-author, so it's not just Oprah, but that is a beautiful book that I've read and sat with and incorporated. I also recently completed an amazing leadership training with the Luna Jimenez Institute for Social Transformation called What Happened to Us. And in both of those trainings and that book and in the training that I was at on trauma responsive care, the question, instead of being what's wrong with this kid, is to say what happened to them or what happened to me instead of what's wrong with me. And that shift alone right there, it changes everything, especially as a caregiver. I know as an individual for yourself, I hope you guys heard that, and I hope you reflect on that. Instead of saying what's wrong with you, ask what happened to you. But as a parent, as a caregiver, as a teacher, when you ask that about the children you care for, when you see these behaviors that just drive you crazy, when you can ask what happened to them, it changes how you're going to approach them. Because when we think about what children are carrying, it's not always something that is big or obvious or that we may even be aware of. It can be small things. It could be that the morning was rushed, that they were told to hurry over and over again, feeling like they were in trouble, but not really understanding why. Or maybe there's some tension in the home between mom and dad, or something heavy going on with the family. Even if no one is yelling. I know right now we have had family loss, and that grief sits heavy in the house. Again, even if no one is yelling. And kids, they carry that with them. They walk into the spaces with bodies that are already holding onto all of this. As I was sitting in the session, I kept on thinking over and over again that it's not just about the children. Because we don't walk into our homes empty either, or into our classrooms empty. We are carrying our own stuff too. It could be the stress from earlier in the day, the mental load that never really shuts off, the feeling of being needed before you've even had a moment to breathe. It's walking into these moments that already feel full before anything has even happened. And then something small happens, like a child needs you, or someone starts crying, or there's noise, there's movement, and your body reacts. This is not because you don't care, but it's because your system is already holding so much. one quick thing that I didn't even mention in here. These are just daily stressors, right? But what about your life trauma, your history, your things that you have carried since you were a baby, through early childhood, through adolescence, through being a young adult? Now you have all of that. You're carrying all of that into every situation that you go into. Okay. This is where it all connects. Just like children are carrying what's happened to them, we are carrying what has happened to us. And it shows up in our tone and our patience and our reactions. It shows up in those moments where we feel overwhelmed and we snap or we shut down. We become that monster that we don't even want to recognize. Now, a lot of those things that we carry, we can't just change with the flip of a switch, right? But one thing that really stood out for me in that session that I have taken on is that safety isn't just that emotional piece, but it's that physical piece too. And I've known this. I have practiced this. I have created environments to promote safety, but I let it slip and let it slide, and it's hitting me in the face again like, hey, pay attention. So let's talk about it. I want you to think about a space where the lights are really bright. Maybe it's your doctor's office, which is horrible to say, but it could be. Maybe it's the grocery store. Maybe it's your kid's school. Who knows where it may be, but think about it. The lights are super bright. There's noise in the background. Maybe it's the TV or someone is talking, something is beeping. And even if nothing is wrong, you can feel your body starting to get a little bit more tense, a little bit more on edge. Now, imagine a child coming into that space with the same things like lighting and the sounds and some funky smells or familiar smells, air quality that maybe is affecting their breathing, their thoughts, clutter all around, too much color. All of that information to the system is an overload. And it matters so much more than we think. I don't know if any of you have heard of Meow Wolf. I love it. It sounds beautiful. I actually want to go. I have not been, even though they are all around us in this area. I will go. But one thing that I think is a barrier for me to go, and I hope you can understand this, is that the stimulation from being in an experience like that is way too much. And I think often we don't realize that little bits, little noise, little colors that are too much can overstimulate us more than we realize. I want you to stop asking, why is your kid acting this way? Why are you acting this way? And start noticing what is triggering this reaction, this system. Is it too loud? Is it too bright? Is there too much going on at once? Are they exhausted? Have you not eaten? And honestly, when we ask these things for our kids and ourselves, we can shift what's going on. Sometimes the thing that is overwhelming your child is overwhelming you too. That's when things can escalate quickly. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because both of the nervous systems are overloaded at the same time. When we talk about creating safe spaces for children, it doesn't start with us controlling their behavior. It starts with the awareness. The awareness of what we're carrying and the awareness of what the kids are carrying that we may never have actually taken the time to see. We don't need perfect homes. We don't need perfect childcare programs. We don't need perfect responses. But we can start to create spaces that feel a little softer, a little quieter, a little more supportive. Spaces where nervous systems can settle, where children can land, where we can be at peace. And that starts with us. If this is something that you're starting to notice in your own home, I created a super simple quiz to help you understand what might be going on for you specifically. You can find it down in the show notes. It's super easy, and I just want to thank you for being here, for being willing to reflect with me, to slow down, and to do this work in a really thoughtful way. As you go out, think about how your environment is preparing you or is overwhelming your load before you explode, and start to do those shifts. You've got the power to do it. I know you can do it. You are here listening because you care. And the children that you care for, man, they are blessed. They are lucky because they have you. I'll see you in the next episode.